Okay, so let's just dive right in. We are living through, and this is no exaggeration, one of the biggest creative disruptions in history. On one side, you've got generative AI that can spit out art, music, you name it, in seconds. And on the other side, well, you've got about a century of copyright law and the entire creative industry. And let me tell you, the collision between them isn't just a little fender bender, it is absolutely explosive.
I mean, just think about what it used to take to make a professional song. We're talking years of practice, months holed up in a recording studio, a whole team of producers and engineers. Now you can just type a prompt, something as simple as an upbeat birthday tune, and get a fully produced track in under a minute. The sheer scale of this change it's staggering.
The speed is incredible, the access is amazing, but it all comes with this one fundamental question that has basically ignited a firestorm of controversy and some really high-stakes legal fights. What is the actual cost of all this progress?
And that question, well, it's being hammered out in the courtroom. So let's get into the billion-dollar copyright fight, where creators and some of the world's biggest media companies are taking on the AI industry over the very foundation of how these powerful models were built.
And believe me, this is not a theoretical battle. This number you're looking at, $1.5 billion, that was the landmark settlement from the Bartz versus Anthropic case, a figure that honestly sent shockwaves through the tech world and showed everyone just how massive the financial liability could be for these AI companies.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The courts in both the Anthropic and Meta cases found that the act of training an AI model, well, that could be considered fair use. But, and this is the absolute key, that protection goes right out the window if you used pirated material for the training. Anthropic had to settle for that massive amount because it was proven they downloaded millions of pirated books. That's where the liability came from.
And that ruling just opened the floodgates. As you can see here, the number of copyright lawsuits more than doubled in 2025 alone. And it wasn't just authors anymore. Suddenly, major film studios, we're talking Disney, Warner Brothers, they jumped into the fray, suing image generators like Midjourney. We also started seeing new types of cases targeting different AI tech, like the retrieval augmented generation models, or RAG models, used by companies like Perplexity. The legal dam has well and truly broken.
But okay, while the lawyers are battling it out in court, the technology itself is just moving at light speed. So let's shift gears from the courtroom to the creative studio and see what these latest AI music generators can actually do.
The market is just packed with these incredibly powerful tools now. You've got Suno, which has become famous for its shockingly realistic vocals. Usidio is right there with it, often even better at nailing specific music genres. Then there's Google's Lyria model, which is really pushing for that professional, studio-quality sound. And for composers, a tool like Iva gives you this deep, granular control because it works with MIDI notes, not just audio.
But the real game changer in all of this? It's been the voice. Just a couple years ago, AI vocals sounded robotic and weird. But now, as this chart shows, a tool like Suno has hit a level of realism where it can be genuinely indistinguishable from a human singer. That single breakthrough is what's making AI-generated songs a mainstream reality.
And the innovation is just not slowing down. I mean, look at this. Google's newest model, Lyria 3, can literally take an image, a photograph, a painting, whatever, and compose an entire musical track inspired by it. We are stepping into a wild new era of multimedia creation here.
So, with tech this powerful, does that mean human artists are obsolete? Is it all over? Not even close. In fact, the most interesting stuff is happening right where human creativity and machine intelligence collaborate. This is the new hybrid workflow.
I absolutely love this quote from the musical genius Jacob Collier. He calls working with Google's AI sonic modeling clay. See, it's not a replacement for his skill, it's a new material for him to shape. It lets him instantly try out ideas that would have been impossible or just taken forever to mock up before. It's expanding his creative toolkit.
And here's how the pros are actually using it. They don't just hit a button and upload the song. No way. They use AI to generate a foundation, a beat, a chord progression, a vocal idea. Then they export those individual tracks, the stems, into their own professional software. And from there, they add their own performances. They rearrange things, they edit, and they apply all their unique skills in mixing and mastering. The AI is the spark, but the human provides the soul.
And this is so important because this whole hybrid approach, it has legal standing. The US Copyright Office has been pretty clear. A purely AI-generated song can't be copyrighted. But a hybrid work, one that has significant human authorship layered on top of that AI foundation, that is eligible for copyright. And that legal distinction is what makes this whole new creative field commercially viable.
So when you put it all together, the lawsuits, the mind-blowing technology, and these new ways of creating, a really fascinating new picture starts to emerge. It's not really a war anymore. It's more like an uneasy truce that's forming a whole new ecosystem.
So what does this new ecosystem look like? Well, the threat of those billion-dollar lawsuits is forcing AI companies to make deals. We're seeing huge licensing agreements where major labels get paid for their catalogs. At the same time, artists are getting more control with new opt-in models. So it's this mix of legal pressure, big business deals, and genuine creative partnerships, all built on top of the legal protection for that hybrid art we just talked about.
Which, of course, leaves us with the ultimate question. The initial fear, the big scary thing, was that AI would just replace the artist. But looking at how things are actually shaking out, the reality seems so much more complex. AI is becoming this powerful, controversial, and truly transformative new instrument. So it hasn't replaced the musician, but it might be fundamentally redefining what it even means to create music itself.